Here we will be going through the air sleeve replacement, also known as a 30-hour service for most Fox air shocks. On any shock you work on, make sure to record all the settings. We tend to count how many clicks back to full open. Also check the air pressure and record that as well. It is very critical to make sure you release all the air pressure from the shock. It is good practice to make sure the shock is cleaned and ready for service. We like to use a rag in the lower eyelet and move to the side to prevent the air can from exploding in case there is negative air trapped in the air can. Now the air can be unthreaded. You may need a strap wrench, and for demonstration purposes, we will use a strap wrench. Once unthreaded, pull back with some force and remove the can, and wipe everything down to give you a clear view of the seals. Clean the inside of the air can with alcohol. Inspect air can for any scratches or damage on the inside. If the air can has scoring or scratches, replace the air can. Start with the air can seals and remove them one by one with a pick. We like to puncture the old seal and pull it out. Be careful not to mar the air can. Set seals in the order that they came out in. Match the seals with the new seals from the kit. Make sure to lightly grease all seals and glide rings before installing. A good technique is to slightly bend the inner glide ring and install that, followed by the quad ring and the second glide ring, and lastly the wiper seal. That concludes the air can assembly seal replacement. Go into the head assembly and remove the innermost O-ring and pay attention to the groove that it was sitting in. It's just past the threads and can be hard to find. And replace that O-ring as well. Next, remove the air piston seals from the main seal head by pinching the quad ring and pulling it back with your other hand. Remove the glide rings in the same manner. Lightly grease the new glide rings and the seal as you install them in the order that they were removed. Now make sure there is a light film on all the air can seals. Next, add lubricating fluid by applying a small bead around the main air piston and a pea-size amount on the damper body and a pea-size amount on the damper shaft. Now that the entire air sleeve is lubricated, the air can is able to be installed. Carefully slide the air can over the main air piston and take care not to pinch or cut the quad ring or any other glide rings. Make sure to wipe the air can threads down to remove any lubricating oil. Push the air can up towards the threads of the head assembly and begin threading the air can back on. Tighten the air can to manufacturer torque specs, which is usually hand tight. If you're having trouble getting the threads engaged, you can always turn the rebound in clockwise and compress the shock. The shock is now ready to be aired up to operating pressure, and rebound and compression settings can be applied. After the shock is aired up and settings have been applied, make sure to give it a good wipe down and add the sag ring. Now the shock is ready for reinstall on the bike, and double check all the settings and sag.